Hey everyone. All right, so in this video, let's talk about, is The Last Jedi a disappointment? There's two factors, two things at play right now that really, really upset me. I'll be real honest with you. This is really frustrating me, and I'm going to go over each one of these factors and kind of explain to you why there's a lot of disingenuousness out there and actually straight up dishonesty in regards to The Last Jedi and expectations, etc., etc. So the first thing we're going to talk about is box office, okay? Now, Last Jedi is a juggernaut at the box office. It's already made, it's only been out like a little over a week, it's already made $400 million. That's, most movies would kill to make that in their entire run in theaters. Last Jedi did that in like a week, okay? It's not a failure. But the media, the narrative right now is, oh, well, Last Jedi has made, X percentage less than The Force Awakens. Yes, that's true. But it's a completely unfair comparison. The Force Awakens, there will never be a film that will match that level of interest, that level of hype. Okay, The Force Awakens like transcended the box office and became like a cultural event. Okay, it was the first film in 30 years that featured Han, Luke, and Leia. 30 years of curiosity about what happened to that original trio, culminated with The Force Awakens. A huge amount of interest. On top of that, it was the first movie produced under the Disney banner since Disney bought Lucasfilm. So no Star Wars movie to ever come out after that will ever match that level of excitement, and probably will never match that box office. So when the media tells you, oh, it's making less than The Force Awakens, and they try to paint this picture that because of that, it's some sort of disappointment, it's so disingenuous. It's so irresponsible to do that. And it's really unfair, okay? Now, look, if Episode 9 comes out and it makes less than Episode 8, that's a conversation. That's a fair conversation to have, okay? Because both movies sort of have the same advantages, okay? It's a level playing field. The Force Awakens is an anomaly. It's an outlier. You cannot compare any movie to that, and it's really, like I said, disingenuous to compare The Last Jedi to The Force Awakens and sort of paint this picture that it's a failure because it's not making the same amount of money. Yeah, unbelievable amount of dishonesty there. So that's number one. Number two, Rotten Tomatoes, okay? Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score comes out, it's like 95, 96%. And then the audience score comes out and it's like 55%, and everyone's going nuts over that. And a lot of people with agendas will point to that audience score at 55% and go, aha, see, Last Jedi sucks, people don't like it. But that's ignoring every other audience poll. If you look at every other audience poll, Cinema Score, SurveyMonkey, IMDb, they're all in the positives. They're all 80s, 90s%, 80 or 90%, okay? The 55% is an outlier. And I'm going to read to you right now some investigative reporting that a website did in regards to the percentage breakdown with the Rotten Tomatoes, and it'll kind of shed some light. So let me go over that with you right now. Okay, so the report came from James Shapiro from birthmoviesdeath.com. Now look at these numbers. Rotten Tomatoes, the percentage, the number of people with no profile that voted for The Last Jedi, 33%. So 33% of people had no profile when they voted for The Last Jedi, okay? Number of new users that voted for The Last Jedi, 61%. And there was only 6% of existing users that voted for The Last Jedi. Okay, Metacritic, another polling firm that is skewing lower for Last Jedi, 72% were all new users that voted for The Last Jedi. Only 28% were existing users. Now, James Shapiro goes on to say there were a lot of respondents who signed up to review The Last Jedi and with Rotten Tomatoes, and a third of those responders deleted their account or had their account deleted after registering. This suggests an effort was made to create a negative self-selecting bias because these new users chose to register with the site just to have their review counted in the overall Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic score for the site. So what he's saying is essentially these people had an agenda. They signed up for Rotten Tomatoes just to downvote the movie and to tank the score. And that's why it's so low. Now, I know a lot of people are out there going, well, if you enjoy The Last Jedi, then just ignore the score. What does it matter? It matters for a number of reasons, okay? But the main reason, there's a lot of casual moviegoers that really take these Rotten Tomato scores to heart. So someone who's on the fence about, for seeing The Last Jedi might look at that 55% bogus score and go, you know what? It's getting bad reviews. I'm not going to see it, okay? It convinces people on the fence to not see it. A lot of people take that Rotten Tomato score very seriously. And that impacts Disney's decisions going forward, because what happens is the less money it makes, it affects how they go forward, moving forward with other movies. So if they feel like a riskier movie like Last Jedi is getting a lot more heat, then Disney might go, you know what, we'll just fall back on the safe movie. We'll rehash the other Star Wars movies like we did with Force Awakens, and it's safer that way. We'll still make the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem, is that it affects the box office, which affects Disney's decisions. So it's more than just a score. And when people are purposely manipulating it, that makes me mad. It really, really does, especially with a franchise I care so deeply about, which is Star Wars. So those are my thoughts on these two subjects. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? This is all over the internet, okay? It's been crazy with this whole Last Jedi situation. Everyone has an opinion on it. Comment below. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, may the Force be with you.